Greetings. I'm in the kitchen where I tend to find myself being a lot. I noticed that when I began to eat more, I'm in the kitchen more now that I don't cook a lot than when I did cook. Because now that I eat majority raw, I'm between 85 and 90% raw foods, meaning that 80 to 90% of my meals are raw meals. A lot of those are salads, okay? And I like to do salads that are a mix of like light greens and also kind of like your thicker greens, heavier, I should say, greens, like your broccoli green and collards or kale. So I mix it up, and I do that because I find that if I continuously just eat those kind of tougher, I don't know what to describe it as, tougher greens, my digestion, starts to get a little sluggish. So I like to mix it up. But anyway, I find myself in the kitchen more now than when I was one who ate cooked foods, majority cooked foods. So the kitchen is like my lab, and every time I'm in here assembling food, it's very much so like a meditation. First of all, the act of taking care of yourself. So the time it takes me to clean the veggies, which it takes a little longer for me to clean the veggies because most of the time my greens for my salads are off the farm, straight off the farm. So I like to clean them really well because it could have bugs. It's off of a farm. So the time it takes me to clean it and then chop it, I don't rush the process. I just kind of take my time. I end up giving thanks for the live foods and start to reflect on how my new eating habits are impacting my life. And so I drop into like gratitude while I'm doing it. And so it's not a task. And I was just thinking, how much we don't go this route, or we end up not creating a lifestyle where we are indulging in healthy habits, because as one of my participant members said, it's not hard, but it's not convenient. She said it's not convenient, and we get so used to convenient. And so I wanted to do this video and just talk about how important it is for us to love ourselves so much that we commit to the process and the lifestyle and the habits that allow ourselves to really flourish, that allow ourselves to be our higher selves. Because the only reason why we don't experience our highest selves is because there's something in our atmosphere, in our environment, in our lifestyle that's keeping us from being able to do that. And it's really up to us. It's really up to us. So we have to make bold decisions, making a decision. I'm a Southern girl, ATL born and raised, all of my family is from the South. We love Southern food. We love, that's one of our, we come together to eat and we share our dishes with each other out of love. And we like to hear people say, oh, this is good. And oh my goodness, you put your foot in this and all of that stuff. And so for me, starting to eat healthy and create a new lifestyle for myself, it was bold on the sense of many didn't understand it. Also, what you saying, our way of living is not good enough, or it's bad, or what you saying about our food, and are you too bougie to eat like that, or you eating like them white folks, or you eating rabbit food, or whatever. But I had to be so committed to loving myself and understanding what my highest self needs to be, exceptional, and being able to trust that that's possible and believe that that's possible and then commit to the ways, the strictures, the ways that I needed to uphold in order to accomplish that. And so it was bold on that end. It was bold because when I changed my lifestyle, I also changed my son's lifestyle. And so that was bold because family may not agree, and, they say, oh, well, just because you going with all of that strict stuff and, all that extra stuff you doing, don't mean you should subject him to that. Like, listen to that. Subject him to healthy living. Subject him to healthy living. So, you so extreme and you don't need to be so extreme with him, and, you can't just do that, and you depriving him. I heard it all. But I also was learning how all of these different things, the reason why we are transitioning so early and getting so many sick illnesses, diseases, is because from early we are indulging in things and behaviors that are toxic, that are killing us. And so I found it a blessing for me to now learn and striving to do better. And of course I'm going to bring my son along with me. What I look like, knowing this information. And so now I'm not going to, bring him along. But so that was bold, and I just had to be committed, because it's not that I just have this, well, I might have this kind of supernatural type of courage, but it don't take supernatural courage, or you may not have that supernatural courage where you cannot care about what the family say and not care about what people say, because a lot of time we care. And we really don't want to hear it. And sometimes we may be a little doubtful, like maybe I am being too extreme, and we get a little double-minded about it. But, you just have to know that when you establish that level of trust, that you're being led intrinsically, intuitively, you're being led to go down a road that is better for you and your family. If you trust that, you believe in that, you have faith in that, then you just lean on that trust and that faith, and you go through the hard times, those tough times where you have to have those tough conversations, or choose to keep your mouth closed, so other people can be quiet, so you can just allow it to be just, let go, so people won't just keep trying to, you don't have to keep explaining yourself, and you don't have to try to convince them you're right. You got to get over wanting people to understand you and wanting people to know what you mean and see that what you're doing is right. It's a lot of stuff you got to get past because of your faith and trust in what you're being guided to do. Trust that you're being guided on the right path. Once you trust that, you should be able to commit to it. Once you trust it, you should be able to commit to it. So after I cut up so I have lettuce, like a soft green, and then I have my broccoli leaf, which is kind of like the tougher. I like to do this. Okay, I just want to keep maybe it's a teachable moment. So share what I'm also doing while I'm sharing. You need the fiber in here, the living enzymes in here, all of these different things. We're not eating fresh foods enough, and that's why our digestive systems are taking the hit, because our digestive system it's not getting the living enzymes that triggers digestion. It's not getting the fiber that supports digestion. It's not getting the roughage that's like a broom to the digestion. We're eating all cooked foods. So I tell people, even if you don't want to be 100% raw, 50% raw, 40%, at least eat one raw meal a day. That can be salad, fruit, something raw with fiber and living enzymes. Eat something raw. We're living beings, so we should be eating living foods and drinking living drinks. So back to the commitment and the being courageous and being bold, right? You have to be bold. And now I want to say this before I come to the close of this video, is that many times you got to be bold with yourself. Because your old way of thinking, that old you, can become very present sometimes. And you have to boldly say, no, I'm going to stick with my liberty plan. You have to boldly say, no, no, it's not okay to, well, I can bend this time. I can bend this time. I can bend this time. No, like, stick to it. Commit to it so that you can build a lifestyle that supports it. If you don't stick to it, it's going to be hard for you to progressively build that lifestyle that's going to make it where it's not even, it's no second thought. But you got to stick to it so that lifestyle can be built. If you say, okay, if you keep on giving yourself a break, I guess that's how people say it. I'm giving myself a break. I'm breaking this weekend. I'm a break. I know I committed to not drinking or not eating certain foods or whatever, but it's the weekend, or or I'm at a birthday party, or it's a celebration, or I hadn't eaten that in months, or and so you just got to be careful with that, because you can be so committed, and that one time you introduce it back into your diet, or introduce it back into your things you're doing, you find yourself doing it, it's now it's back, and I bear witness to that, because oftentimes on my journey I had found myself reverting back to certain behaviors, certain things I would indulge in, and I would be saying to myself, these onions getting me, I would be saying to myself, well, it's been 6 months, or it's been this long, or it's been that long, and I'm all right. But just as much as I go cold turkey and just stop doing stuff, I could have some chips, I could have some wine, I could have whatever, and I'll have it, and then next thing I know, I give myself a break again, and I give myself a break again, and I give myself a break again. I just said, I have to, because the more you push through, every time you push through and not indulge in that food or that habit or that behavior, every time you begin to get stronger and stronger, and then you even begin to learn, what can I put into place of it? Instead of like, okay, of course you got to ask yourself, well, why, what makes me want to do it? What makes me want to have it? And what can replace that? These are onion flowers. So it looks kind of like a chive, right? So this is like on the farm, when you leave the onion in there and let it keep growing, when it start producing, eventually if you leave seeds to grow and not harvest them, it's going to start producing seeds. So this is the flower that's going to produce the seed for the onion. It's in there, very nutrient rich. It also has a crunch to it, also has a taste of onion to it. So I love to add them to my salad. It's just a opulent eating. I just find it so opulent for me to have all these things that you just won't find anywhere else. Like, who else has onion flowers in their salad? I like to be opulent because I deserve it. We deserve it. Period. I deserve it. We deserve it. So I just sprinkle them in there like that once I cut it off. We deserve opulence. Like, opulence. Can't buy that at a drive-thru. Can't even buy it at a restaurant, really. Some of these top restaurants, my salads will run circles. And your salads, once you really put some love in them and really give thanks that I have roots and seeds and leaves and all type of live stuff in my salad. I'm making a big bowl because this will last me 2 to 3 days. And I find that when I make a big bowl, it decreases my chances of trying to find something outside of my house to eat, which is always difficult for me. It's hard for me to find things that's up to par or up to standard of what I desire for my eating. So every time you push through, you find a way to it becomes more and more you. You're giving over to it more and more. So now it's not something you're just depriving yourself of, or something you have to work to do, or something you have to make so much effort. It's just become a part of you. And so you ask yourself, why do I want this? And when do I find myself wanting this? And, you know, and so now let me figure out how I can, I'm trying to figure out, is this, nah, I don't like how tough it is. If it's too tough, I don't cut it up and put it in there, because I would use this too, but I'm going to compost it. So it's essential for you to push through. It's essential. Yeah, you know, sometimes there will be times when you say, well, you know what? I'm going to eat this piece of cake. That's okay. Nothing is good or bad. Nothing is right or wrong. Is it in alignment? Ooh, the onions got me, honey. Is it in alignment with the way you want to live your life and the way you desire to manifest the type of life? Is it in alignment with the type of life that you want to live? Is it in alignment with the state of being that you want to have or be in? Is it in alignment? If not, then how can I figure out how to move away from this? And one big key, what do I replace this with? What do I replace this with? This is, these are actually either yellow dock or dandelion seeds. So just like the onion, if you don't pick the dandelion out your yard or kill it with weed killer, we don't even know that we're killing dandelion and yellow dock all the time, especially if you live in Georgia, because it grows rampantly in your yard. We call it weed, and we get weed killer and we pour it on there. But if you let it keep growing, it produces a seed, and this seed is really good for kidney, liver health, and all that. So because this is most of the time my primary meal, I try to load it with things. So I just take this and just run my fingers down. I just run my fingers down, and it give me the seeds. You sprinkle it, you know. You ain't gonna be able to taste, you know, it don't taste like it. I don't be tasting it. If anything, it adds a crunch, you know. That's what I like. It adds texture, it adds diversity to my salad, complexity to my salad. Because usually I'm putting in fennel seeds or some kind of seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds for my crunch. So this helps me out. So I just pull it like this. But so as I come to close, this is the last thing I'm gonna put in here before I put it in the refrigerator. I might make a salad right now, or wait till my call is over. I think I will wait till my call is over. To close this out, you know, the main thing is you want to stay committed to your highest self. And I just was pondering, like, I cannot have commitment for people. You know, no matter how much I teach, I minister, I can't have the commitment for the person. The person has to be committed to themselves. So I started to wonder, like, what can help people to commit? What helped me to commit? No matter what is going on, I'm committed. I'm disciplined. I'm devoted. What helps me? And I think it's because I'm blessed, gratefully, to have developed a quite beautiful self-concept about myself, a self-confidence, self-perception, or self-image. That's what it is. I always imagine myself as this divine, worthy, magical, amazing being, that if I was to put some effort into really creating the environment, internal environment and external environment, to really care for myself, then I could accomplish so much. And I could be such a radiant light in this world. And I could really manifest all of this beautiful potential that I have. And I also consider myself, my body, my mind, my soul, my heart, as a temple of all of that creativity and divine energy and magic and all of that. And so if I feel like 2 + 2 is 4. If I am to take supreme care of my mind, take supreme care of my body, take supreme care, if I am to put with the laws, the divine laws, the universal laws, if I was to put a level of energy behind really taking care of these vessels, my mind, my body, my heart, my soul, my intelligence, if I was to really take care of them, then whoa, like I could really accomplish this vision that I have in my mind, this dream that I have for myself, these desires, these beautiful desires that I have for myself. That helps me to be committed. So I'll close by saying, if you find yourself having a hard time committing to what you know is best for you, what you know Spirit has told you need to improve upon, increase, decrease, whatever in your life. If you're having a hard time devoting yourself to that, committing to that, staying disciplined with that, then you may want to work on increasing your self-love and really allowing yourself to see your highest self. Picture it. Imagine it. Allow yourself to imagine it. Allow yourself to imagine yourself healthy, to imagine yourself wealthy, to imagine yourself in beautiful relationships, to imagine yourself accomplishing and succeeding at your goals and your efforts. Imagine it. Keep imagining it until you start feeling it. And once you start feeling it, you imagine it, you feeling it, then you start kind of thinking, oh, the vortex has now been filled. Now, the seeds have now been planted. The momentum has now been started. So you're working as a co-creator in the process. Co-creator. We have a divine essence that's already on our side, already working for our good. Now you join the process. So now just do your job as co-creator. Take care of the vessel, learn more, grow more, heal more, release more, increase more, expand more. And it's nothing that you can't accomplish, but you must be committed. And so to grow that commitment, grow that self-love. Because once you love yourself and you really see yourself, your true self, that highest self, how can you not commit to it? How can you not commit to it? Just at that point, once you commit, of course, what comes after that is discipline and, resilience and all that kind of stuff. But first, just work on the commitment. Work on committing. Work on figuring out, what do I need to do to stay committed? Do I need to resituate some things? Do I need to stop hanging around certain people? Do I need to stop listening to certain things? Do I need to stop indulging in certain behaviors? Whatever I need to do to stay committed. One simple but big thing in my life is I don't purchase anything to store in my refrigerator or cupboards that I know I don't want to, I'd rather not indulge in. I don't keep juices. I don't keep sodas. I don't keep candy, cakes, chips, snacks. I don't keep them in my house. One huge change that helped so much. So if I find myself indulging, is if I'm out and it's going to take me a level of effort to get to it. But I'm going to decrease the access. That's the thing. I decrease the access to those triggers that trigger me to do the things that I knew I didn't want to really do. So that may be a helpful tip. I hope something was said. I want to do more of these. I said, I was looking at some of the people who have inspired me as I'm building out this new, I keep calling it a portal, vortex of educational course content and materials. I'm looking at other people and I see half the time they're videoing themselves while they're in the midst of, what they do. And so it's been fun doing this video. So I probably will do more of these. I accomplished my my salad for at least a few days. I won't say for the week. I usually make 2 big salads a week. I accomplished that, and I also was able to chat with you and share some words with you. I hope they have been inspirational. I would love to hear your thoughts. What resonated with you? You know, what action steps will you take now that you've heard something that resonated with you? What will you, so that I can stand in the gap for you and send some positive energy out and some prayers out for your efforts? You know, what steps are you going to take so that we can support you on your journey? Thank you for tuning in. I give thanks. I give thanks. If this was impactful for you and you think it will be impactful for somebody else, don't feel shy to share this video. All right. Peace and love, y'all.